If you're applying to Oxford or Cambridge this year, there are at least 12 deadlines you need to hit between now and January, and missing even one of them could cost you your place. The problem is, these deadlines come from all over the place. Some are UCAS deadlines, some are set by the universities, some are set by completely separate testing bodies altogether, and they all overlap. So in this video, we're going to walk you through every single date that you need to know for 2027 entry at Oxbridge, month by month, so you don't get caught off guard. It's not just deadlines you need to worry about when applying to Oxbridge, but the big book of Oxbridge applications is here to help. Learn about colleges, courses, entry requirements and more, all for free in our comprehensive guide to Oxford and Cambridge. Get your copy from the link in the description. So let's start from the very beginning. The first official milestone is on May 12, 2026. That's when the UCAS undergraduate portal opens for 2027 entry. Now, you can't submit your application yet, that doesn't happen until September, but you can register your account and start filling in your details. Things like your personal details, your education history, and your qualifications. Getting this out of the way early means that you can focus your energy on the harder parts later on, like your personal statement. Just 1 week later, on May 20th, UCAT registration is also open. If you're applying for medicine or dentistry, this is going to be your first real action point. The UCAT is the only admissions test for undergraduate medicine in the UK, and you'll need to register before you can book your test slot. UCAT bookings then open on June 16th, and this is where it gets tactical. The best test slots go quickly, especially in popular centres, so book as soon as it opens. September slots really aren't ideal compared to those in July or August, so aim to sit your test during the summer holidays. In July, both Oxford and Cambridge hold their open days. These are genuinely important, not just for getting a feel of the city and university, but for exploring the different colleges. Your college choice is a part of your UCAS form, so you want to make an informed decision. Oxford opens its doors on the 1st and 2nd of July, while Cambridge holds its event 1 week later on the 9th and 10th. If you can't make it to either of these weeks, an additional open day is held at each university in September. Both universities also offer virtual alternatives if you can't attend either of these dates in person. Now, July is when things start to accelerate. The UCAT testing window opens on July 13th and runs all the way through to September 24th. That's a wide window, but don't let that fool you into complacency. The booking deadline is September 16th, and, as we said, the best slots fill up fast. If you're a medicine or dentistry applicant, we'd strongly recommend sitting the UCAT in July or August, so it's done before you return to school and the autumn rush. At the same time, from July 20th through to September 28th, registration opens up for the 3 major UAT-UK admissions tests. That's the ESAT, the TMUA, and the TARA. These are the main admissions tests at Oxbridge, being required for some of the most popular and competitive degrees at the universities. You register through Pearson VUE's online portal, and you need to make sure you're registered for the October sitting, because the January sitting is only open to non-Oxbridge applicants. Now, here's something that catches a lot of applicants off guard. If you're applying to law at Oxford or Cambridge, you need to sit the LNAT, the Law National Aptitude Test. While still a Pearson VUE test, the LNAT runs on a separate booking system for the other admissions tests, so you need to make sure you know what you're doing. Registration opens August 1st, and you can sit the test from September 1st. But here's the crucial part. Oxbridge applicants, you need to have sat the LNAT by October 15th. This is the same day as the UCAS deadline, which we'll get to in a second. That deadline creeps up on people because the Oxbridge LNAT registration closes on September 15th, a full month before the test deadline. So if you forget to register in time, you can't apply for law at Oxbridge. This is made even more confusing by the fact that both registration and testing actually continue all the way until January for non-Oxbridge applicants. Make sure you don't get caught out by that. From September 1st, you can start submitting your UCAS application. Your personal statement, your academic reference, your course choices, it all needs to be ready for the final deadline. Now, you don't need to submit it all on day one. In fact, you shouldn't rush it. But you do want everything polished and ready to go well before the October deadline, because technical issues on the UCAS portal are not unheard of on deadline day. October is, without question, the most important month in the Oxbridge application cycle. Almost everything converges here. First, between October 12th and October 16th, the UAT-UK admissions tests take place. Again, that's the ESAT, TMUA, and TARA. These are sat at approved Pearson VUE testing centres, and there is no second chance for Oxbridge applicants. If your course requires one of these tests, this is when you need to sit it. Then, on October 15th at 6 PM, the UCAS deadline hits. This is the absolute cutoff for all applications to Oxford, Cambridge, and any UK medicine, veterinary, or dentistry courses. Your personal statement, your reference, your course choices, everything must be submitted by 6 PM. There are no extensions and no exceptions. A lot of people assume the UCAS deadline is in January, and it is for most universities, but for Oxbridge, it's 3 months earlier, October 15th. Don't forget it, don't get caught out. And remember, October 15th is also the LNAT deadline for Oxbridge law applicants, so if you haven't sat it by then, your application won't be considered. Cambridge applicants, you're not done yet. A few days after your UCAS submission, you'll need to complete the My Cambridge application form. This is a supplementary form that gathers additional information about you and your studies. It takes about an hour to complete, and the deadline for 2026 is October 22nd. This form is not optional, but it does give you the opportunity to write a new personal statement dedicated to Cambridge, so try to see it as a positive thing. Once your application is submitted, the process shifts to the university side. But things are far from finished. If you're applying for certain courses at Oxford or Cambridge, you'll need to submit a piece of written work. This is typically an essay you've already written at school, though some courses will require multiple pieces of work or full portfolios, all of which need to be submitted digitally to your chosen college or department. The deadline for these is usually in early November. The exact date is confirmed each year, but it's been around the 10th of November in previous cycles. Be sure to check the entry requirements for your specific course well in advance so you're not scrambling at the last minute. Also in November, some Cambridge courses require applicants to sit a pre-interview assessment. These are separate from the UAT-UK tests as they're exclusive to Cambridge. They're subject-specific tests that you sit after you've been shortlisted but before your interview. Courses like history, English, modern languages, and several others all use assessments like these, so check whether your course requires one. Now, in mid to late November, if your application has been shortlisted, you'll receive the all-important interview invitation, usually by email about 2 weeks before your interview date. The interviews themselves take place in December. For 2027 entry, both Oxford and Cambridge are holding interviews online, though some Cambridge colleges will require applicants to attend the campus in person for interviews. The online format has been in place since 2020, and it's now well established, especially at Oxford. Your interviews will typically last about 20 to 40 minutes each, depending on the subject, and most applicants will have at least 2 interviews. Now, the key thing to understand about Oxbridge interviews is they're not about what you know, they're about how you think. The tutors want to see you work through unfamiliar problems in real time. They're not going to try and catch you out, they're trying to see what it would be like to teach you. We've covered the interview process in depth on our channel, so be sure to check out our dedicated videos and subscribe to be the first to see our newest guides. So that concludes 2026 for Oxbridge applicants. After everything, the tests, the personal statement, the interview, decisions are released on January 12th, 2027 for Oxford or January 27th for Cambridge. You'll be able to check your outcome through UCAS Track, where you'll either receive an offer, which will be conditional on your exam results, or you'll be unsuccessful. Now, some applicants may be pulled prior to offers being sent, which means your application has been passed to other colleges for consideration. This usually happens at Cambridge, but being pulled is not a rejection. Plenty of successful Oxbridge students receive their offers through the pool, so we'll discuss this in detail in another video. And that's the complete timeline. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe to Uni Admissions as we're releasing detailed guides to every stage of the process and much more. And don't forget to grab your free copy of the Big Book of Oxbridge Applications. The link is in the description. Good luck with your application, and we'll see you in the next one.